Zevahim Daf Nun Het Amud Aleph from the top, new perek. Koche Kochim Shahashatan Brosh Mizbeach. The Koche Kochim was slaughtered on the top of the Mizbeach. Not supposed to be there. Be'asur Mizu says Bekilu Nishatu B'Safon. It's kosher because it's slaughtered in the north. Be'asur Mizumer Mehatzia Mizbeach V'Darom B'Darom. The southern half of the Mizbeach is in the south, and therefore it's not good. Mehatzia Mizbeach V'Safon, the northern half is in the north, and therefore it's good. Okay. The Gemara then says. Marbi Aseh, Marbi Yohanan, Omer Haya Rabbi Yosef used to say, Kulim is Beach is the one the entire Mizbeach was in the north. Umay Ki'ilu. So that's the case. Why did Rabbi Yosef say, oh, it's as if it's in the north? It is in the north. Martim, you would have thought, Ba'inun al Yerech Vileka. Since it's not at the side of the Beach, therefore it doesn't work. Kamashlan therefore says it's as if he's slaughtered in the north, meaning it's as if he's slaughtered in the right spot. Okay. Amale Rabbi Zera. Let it be aseh. Elam that's the case. The Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda, according to Rabbi Yehuda, who says that if it's in the southern half, it's pasul. Hachanami dehachub is the fun darom. Is it the same calculation that it's half and half? If you say that's the case, the ha'at hu da'amar, but you yourself, Asi said, Mashad Rabbi Yochanan, Modir Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda would say and agree, Shem shahatan begin eglan b'karka ha'pasul. If you slaughter the kodesh kodshim on the mizbeach, next to the mizbeach, it's pasul. So it must be that the Mizbeach must have been completely in the south. The Gemara says, you have to explain as follows. Amalei, he says back to him, Hachi Kamar Rabbi Yochanan says as follows. Shneim Mikra Echad Av they both learned their learnings from the same pasuk. Pasuk says, V'zevachta alav et olotecha ve'et shelamecha. You should slaughter your korban olah and your shlamim. If you also say Savar Kula Olah v'Kula Shlamim, teaches you that the entire Mizbeach is fit to slaughter the olah or to slaughter shlamim. Yes, in Krivida Savar Hachilo Lava no. Half and half. We split it in half. It says it for both, which means half and half. Gemara says because you would have thought Kula Ola Kasher, that the entire thing's kasher for the Ola. Hashta Kula Ola Kasher, if that's the case, the whole thing's kasher for an Ola. Kula Shem Ba'ithu, of course, it would be kasher for the Shlamim. Must be only half. The Idach, how does just explain it? Israel, he still didn't teach us. Because why? Sa'akada Tahamina Ola Hu Dahik Lemakom. Maybe you would have thought that only in the case of the Allah where there's not enough space, and therefore we needed to make accommodations. That's where it's kasher. Shlamim the lo dahig levakom, but shlamim where it's not tight for space. Imalon maybe not kamashlan, therefore not. Okay. Next, gufa. We said earlier, Amar Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Hanan, Medir, Yosef, Jurida, Shem Shahatan, Kenneth, Brika, also we saw the Kodesh Kochim next on the ground next to the Mizbeach is pasul. Amar Rabbi Ahmed, Dit, Ravina, my Kenneth, and Brika. What does it mean next to it? Ilima Amma Yesod, Amma Yesod, you're referring to the Amma by the base of the Mizbeach or by the ledge. High Gufa Mizbeach, it's still considered part of the Mizbeach, not next to it. The odd, my Kenneth, and Brika. Well, again, then what would mean opposite? It's not part of the ground. The Gemara says, "V'chita," maybe you might say, "Da'avid mechilot bekarka v'shachitu," because let's say you made a case where you made a hole in the ground and under the mizbeach and you slaughtered it there. That also doesn't make sense. V'chia gavnu yahamzech, not considered mizbeach. By the time it says mizbeach adamat haseli should make a mizbeach of the earth. Shehem mechubar b'adamah has become attached to the ground. Shelo yibanena lo agav mechilot v'lo agav kifin. You can't build it on top of like an arch or on top of a hole. So that can be the case. The Gemara says, "No, tzricha, no, some other case. The vasile mitzvah, you made the mizbeach smaller, and you slaughtered on the ground where the mizbeach previously was." Okay. Mar bizira. Efshar itil lahad Rabbi Yochanan below tenina the matantin. Is it possible to have Rabbi Yochanan talacha without learning the Mishnah first? There has to be a proof. Nafak dag v'ashkach yibane etant. The Mishnah says, "Biru misham aset enayafim." They would go select to go to the storehouses, and they would pick nice, beautiful pieces of wood of a fig tree. This is to make the second fire where they would burn the ketoret. So next to the fire would be placed by the southwest corner of the Bech, and it would be 4 away from the corner. And they would put enough wood that would be able to burn with 5 se'ah of coal. They would put more than 8. Because also over there, they would have to put the extra levana, but the lechma panim that was placed every Friday, every Shabbat, so they would put extra coal. How do you know 4 amot north of Mizbeach's corner? It basically is Chantarias. The Tanner says If you marriage says that's Iman, this is the following rule. Kol hanital b'fnim le'atem mahut. Anything that's taken from the inside of the hechal to put outside of the deach, eno noten el l'samuch she'en lefnim. It's only put on the outside part of the deach, closer to the hechal's entrance. V'chol hanital b'chutz le'atem b'fnim. Anything that's taken from the deach to put inside the hechal, eno nital el b'samuch she'en lefnim. It's only taken from the outer part and putting it in the closest to the inside. Now, the Gemara says, anything inside to be close to the outside. Who was I referring to? Ilim Shiraim is referring to pouring the blood remaining, the remaining blood on the Mizbeach. The adjective, the pasuk is outright. So that can't be it. But two, another problem is when we said that anything outside is being put from the inside, Ma'aneh was referring to. Could be referring to the coals of Yom Kippur, which we burn them from the outside to the inside for the Ktoret. Also says the pasuk outright. You should take a full shovel full of coals. So you don't need Rabbi Yosef teaches that. So what's going on? Anything that was taken from the inside of the Echat, but outside of the Mizbeach. This refers to the 2 spoons of the Vana incense by the foot Lechem Parim. The Gamre Mishinayim, we learned that halacha from the halacha of the blood remaining pouring. That what? Just like the blood remaining pouring, you pour on the Mizbeach part closest to the Echal, so to the Vana also. Next part, Hanital B'chuz and between the outside to go to the inside, Gehalim Decholim Yom, it's referring to the coals of the Torah that we use every single day. And we learn that halacha, the Gamram, we Gehalim Shem Kippur, we learn that halacha from the coals of Yom Kippur. Just like the Yom Kippur coals are taken from the Mizbeach, next to the Echal, so too this. So what do we see? We also hold that the fire which burnt the Levana and the coals which the Torah used had to be close as possible to the Echal. And that means it's closer to that corner, north of the southwestern corner. Now, my kasavar he holds where the Mizbeach actually is. He holds the Mizbeach in the south of the courtyard. You have to bring the fire, rather, bring it 27 amot north, not just 4, because it's so far away if it's in the south. Even if he holds it, it's all considered one Kiddusha. The Echal's Kiddusha transfers over, and therefore it would be considered Lifnei Hashem, and it's not like you're transferring it outside. What would be the problem with that? It would still be a problem because you would still need the 22 minimum amot northward. You're still in the south. Because of our if he holds like the other opinion that holds that the Mizbeach is half in the north, half in the south, he would have to bring the fire, the materials, 11 amot, not 4. Even if he holds that it's considered one big kiddusha, it would be 6. So where do we get number 4? Must be he holds the entire thing as the north. And why you say 4? Amma Yisod, one Amma is referring to the base of the Mizbeach. Amma Sovev, one Amma is the ledge. Amma Makom Kanot, and one Amma is where the actual horn is. Amma Makom Ragleh Bekonim, and the fourth Amma is where the Kohen is actually standing. Right? So, meaning, you don't move the spot more than these 4 Amot from the tip. And then those 4 Amot are necessary because the tip is, they have the base, the ledge, the horn, and the person himself. That's why it's 4 Amot, not additional 4. If you move further, then it's not going to be as close as possible. So what do we see? From all that we see that according to Rabbi Yossi, the entire Mizbeach is in the north. The Gemara says, it's not proof. That Mishnah is according to Rabbi Yossi. The Mizbeach stood in the middle of the courtyard. And it was 32 amot wide. 10 amot was opposite the Hechal entrance. 11 amot from one side and 11 from the other side. Therefore, we see the entire width of the Mizbeach was opposite the entire width of the Hechal. That's why it's positioned like that strategically. Now, the Gemara says, soft. Now, okay, fine. You want to say that? No problem. That's the case according to that. You still need to bring the stuff 11 amot. Because why? This is what we said earlier when we said we assumed that Rabbi Yossi held this. We said the same problem. If this is where you believe it is, it's not 4 amot, 11 amot. If you want to even say they have the same kiddusha, you only sell 5 amot, you still have 6 amot out of there. You think the 4 amot includes the base and the ledge? No. 4 amot, Yusuf Amot Saviv. These 4 amot are measured past the amma of the base and past the amma of the ledge. That's why it's six. It is six. We didn't count those two. So previously we said the four is referring to the four physical things that are there: ledge, base, horn, and the kohen. Now we're saying no, we're counting those four plus the ledge and the base. Okay, that's why it's six, like it fits. And we said it fits because we said it's one kedusha, it's only six amot away. That's a six amot. Okay, the says "V'nokma kerev Yosef Musa." Okay, that's the case. Who says according to Ada Barava? Maybe it's according to Rabbi Yosef, and says that he puts it in the mizbeach in the middle of the courtyard. Gemara says Mishum de Rabbi Yehuda Shemana de Musa v'Yedya, because Rav Ada Barava likes to say the Mishnah is according to Rabbi Yehuda because he heard from Yehuda that the mizbeach is in the middle of the courtyard, and that's not like Rabbi Yosef. Okay, Rav Shaya Amar, Rav Shaya says Hamani who's Mishnah according to Rabbi Yosef, he agrees it's according to Rabbi Yosef. Why does Hamar says Rabbi Yosef says Mitoch Shnei Rabbi says Ben Hadad the Kior Ben Oel Moed v'Gomer. You should put the Kior, the wash pit, to put it between the Oil Moed and the Mizbeach. Ve'et, and also Mizbeach ha'olah, the Mizbeach ha'olah. Mizbeach Pateh Moed, it means the Mizbeach was at the entrance of the Oil Moed. Below Kiyor Pateh Moed, and the Kiyor was not. It's not in between. We already put the Kiyor. Ben ha'olam, the Mizbeach, between the chamber and the Mizbeach. Mashuch kim'ah klepei daron, and it was slightly towards the south, towards the Mizbeach. Okay, my Kasavar, why would he hold that? Ikasavar kulam Mizbeach v'drom, if he holds the Mizbeach in the south, Mikotel hechal v'drom, she put the kotel just in the southern wall of that. Ben ulam mizbeach, between the mizbeach and the chamber. V'inami because of hechal ulam achadi, he holds one kiddusha, and therefore you cannot put the kior there because part is too kadosh of the hechal. Nogmei bekotel ulam v'darom, you should put it in the southern part of the wall by the chamber. Ben ulam mizbeach, area next to the mizbeach and the chamber. Must be just like we did not hold like that. We said that the mizbeach is by the south. Inami. If you said bless you, thank you. You know, like it must be held that it's half and half, half north, half south. If that's the case, put the kior, southern part of the wall, by the hechal. Ben ulam between the and the ulam. Then ame and kasavar kedusha lam v'chal, even if you hold it's one kedusha, therefore you can't put it next to the chamber. Because of ulam you should put it in the southern part of the chamber. Ben ulam between the mizbeach and the ulam. If you don't know what's flying, it's highly recommended to use the art scroll that has the pictures. You'll see it much more outright. Regardless of the flag, this shows us that Rabbi Yosef, who says that you put the kior on the southern part of the mizbeach, does not hold it. The mizbeach could have been half and half, half north, half south. Therefore, the Rishum the Kasavari Kulim Mizbeach must be Rabbi Yosef, although you put the kior on the southern part of the mizbeach, must be because he holds that you need the entire mizbeach was in the north. Okay. The order is asked 1 second. Simple. Put the kior between the mizbeach and the hechal in the north. Avoid all problems. Not next to the mizbeach, not next to the petach hamoed. For example, kadzavar kedusha hechal b'lama chada it's considered one kedusha. Kinami mukad lema kata al hechal mazafon. Therefore, even if you put the kior by the north, it would be next to the hechal. Havelet ben ulam mizbeach because it would be in between the chamber and the mizbeach. Well, okay, fine. So put it on the northern part of the wall by the chamber. Ben ulam mizbeach. That'll be between the chamber and Mizbeach, but will be blocked off. Commercial Amar Karab, so it says Safon in the north. What do we see? She has Safon Panu the Kilim. The northern part should be empty. No Kilim. No Kior even. So he says the only thing in the north is the Mizbeach. The Tana the Bilgal who argues against him, Bilzei Yaakov, Arbi Lazmin Yaakov. Tana but says Bilzei Yaakov Mer, Safon in the north, she has Safon Panu Mikulam, Vafil Mizbeach. This opinion holds, Bilzei Yaakov holds, the north has to be completely empty. Even the mizbeach can't be there. So just we use that pasuk to teach you that only the mizbeach, not the kiyor or anything else. This opinion holds even the mizbeach should not be there.